Mimi namuelewa sana. Lakini uongo. That man lies without blinking. Amekuangalia tu namna hiyo na kudanganya. Tangu nizaliwe, I've never come across such a liar in my entire life.
Ladies and gentlemen, the target of the opposition right now is to take President William Ruto home.
I will offer better management and better coordination of government than what we are seeing. And why? I said the other day in a TV interview that after 10 years of service as a minister and the last 4 of them spent as coordinator of government activities, I understand government almost like the back of my hand. That you know what actually needs to be done. Kenyans are not looking for a government to cook 1 million chapatis for them. They are not looking for,
And what I know what is troubling them right now, it is how to take him home. And I know very well that they could be seeing some of the things that they can do to take President William Ruto home. The also fact that we must have in our mind is that William Ruto is preparing himself day and night.
I will not allow anybody to define me in terms of time and terms and elections. No.
He knows there are challenges that Kenyans are complaining about. And being a politician for almost 30 years now, he knows how to deal with that perception.
Nataka mnielewe, mimi mpango yangu na nia yangu ni kubadilisha hii Kenya. Hii Kenya haiwezi kubadilishwa kiholela. Haiwezi kubadilishwa kwa kupigiwa makofi. Kuna wengine hapa wananiambia ati niendelee kupigiwa makofi. Mimi sihitaji makofi. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Kuna kazi nyingine itafanyika bila makofi. Si ndio? Nyinyi ambaye mnatafuta makofi, endeleeni kutafuta makofi. Wale mnatafuta umaarufu, endeleeni kutafuta umaarufu. Unajua hao watu wengine ni wageni. Wamefika juzi kwa hii siasa. Si mimi nimekuwa around hapa. Kama wewe ni mtu umefika hapa 2-3 years ago, endelea kutafuta makofi. Mimi sitafuti makofi.
And that's why I did a video before and said, ladies and gentlemen, that there are things William Ruto is doing, actually will do to also gain the public trust. One is to launching and completing projects. Like now the one for Nairobi and Nakuru highway. That one is going to be done. If it's going to be done, as he said, it's going to make a great impact. I hope people are not going to be swayed by that. Number 2, he has started reducing school fees, majorly to touch the youth and the parents. You remember school fees was hiked seriously. And right now, I saw yesterday in the news, they have now started reducing the school fees across the universities.
The team has reviewed. There's a team that the president set up, the presidential review team that was set up in September last year. They went through the MTI program and they were able to come up with a wide variety of variables so that we are able now to determine the income of the parents of the students to be as close as possible to the reality so that the margin of error is reduced. They also rationalized the fees for the university programs, and that is the circular that you saw has come out where the fees has been sufficiently reduced. I think some programs are reduced by 15%, others almost by 40%. That was a rationalization exercise that took place. So with all this mitigation and interventions, we believe and we are sure that going forward, that sector where there were a bit of issues relating to maybe banding is now going to be resolved, and we're going to ensure, as I keep saying, that no student is going to be left behind.
Despite William Ruto keeps on making blunders, he's also trying to look for a way to be able to counter the negative perception about his leadership as we speak today. The other thing that we must also remember, he has machineries that exist. This person won an election last time. So he has a machinery that he was created. But if you look at all these leaders in the opposition, none of them ran against him. So the fact remains that none of them has a machinery like William Ruto does. So the fact is, William Ruto has so many things that have been set to face the opposition in 2027. Therefore, the opposition must sit down and be able to see where are the huge weaknesses of President William Ruto to counter him in 2027. And on this particular video, I want to take you through on 6 ways in which William Ruto can be countered and get defeated at the ballot. But before I take you through, if this is the first time you're watching my videos at Mokwa Times, please, ladies and gentlemen, feel free to subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. For those who want to support my channel, my number is always here. Feel free to do so at any time when you feel it's okay. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. Please let me dive into this topic. Before I do so, let me give you 2 seconds to subscribe. Thank you so much for the subscription. Number one way to defeat President William Ruto. It is a united Mount Kenya against President William Ruto in 2027. Mount Kenya, when it is united against any president, you cannot win. 5.2 million votes against you. Impossible. Even if you be number one, you cannot get 50 plus 1. You cannot win against a united Mount Kenya on 3 bases. Number one, they have a certain spirit of voting that can make people come out to vote. Hadi wagonjwa wanaweza piga kura. Such a kind of a spirit does not exist in any part of this country as we speak. It's only Mount Kenya. I wish the rest of the country could also emulate the same. When Raila Amolo Odinga was on the ballot in 2022, 600,000, slightly above that, voters did not vote from the Luo Nyanza. I'm talking of Migori, Homa Bay, Siaya, Kisumu. They did not vote for Raila Amolo Odinga. I know that they voted for William Ruto. They avoided. They did not actually go to the polling station. If they could have voted right now, Raila Amolo Odinga could be the president. So therefore, the spirit of Mount Kenya cannot be matched by any other tribe. When Uhuru Kenyatta was at the ballot, when they decided it is Tano Tena, people woke up to vote. They boosted Uhuru Kenyatta seriously. Twice, 2013, 2017. That spirit does not exist in any part of this country. So if they decide to vote against William Ruto, and then they come out to vote, it's done. It's done. In 2022, they did not have a presidential candidate. But they came out about 5 million votes to vote for the candidates who were there. They do not have a president, only deputies. And as we speak today, William Ruto is the president, courtesy of Mount Kenya. So therefore, Mount Kenya united against President William Ruto. It's a sure bet. That's number one. Number two, Gachagua in the campaigns. Whether we like it or not, the opposition needs Gachagua on the mic at the campaigns. Because he's the person who knows how to counter President William Ruto. To counter William Ruto, you must be an orator. Because when you listen to William Ruto speak, you can think that this country, it is Singapore.
Vijana 1,400. Unanisikia? 400,000. Huyu Mutua huyu anaelewa hiyo kazi. Wameenda kufanya kazi nje ya Kenya. Ile pesa tunapata ya remittance imeongezeka by $1 billion in the last 2 years. Mnanielewa? This country is changing.
So it needs somebody to counter him. And the only person who can do as we speak today is Rigathi Gachagua. So the opposition, whether they like it or not, they need Gachagua. Number two, number three, I mean the opposition must be united.
Finally niambie watu ya Western. Because mimi naona huyo jamaa amekwama hapo kwenu. Nyinyi mko na bahati. That we are here to advise you. Alienda kwenu siku 6. Kwetu he was there 6 days out of 7 every week. Hakuna kanisa hajaingia. Hakuna barabara hajui kwa jina. Hakuna soko hajui kwa jina. And he would memorize. We were very impressed. Anataja barabara wakikuyu wanasema
They united before 2027 general elections or after 2027 first general election voting before the runoff. Either way, they must be united to beat President William Ruto. Either they unite before or they unite at the runoff. Simple and clear. But personally, I prefer unity after the first round of election, because I know if all stand, we are not going to have a 50+1. So we want them, and actually to satisfy regions, let everyone run and let's see who is going to come the top to face William Ruto at the runoff. Simple as that. Number 4.
William Ruto, I have seen when you were in Machakos, You have said that the opposition have no policy, have no sera, and you need to know how they will improve on your policies and your programs. Mr. President, it is not possible to improve most of your programs. Your biggest program is lying. We obviously cannot improve on it. We want to bring a new government to put an end to lying.
Constant reactions to William Ruto's sentiments. It's only Gachagua who knows that. William Ruto can only be able to make sense if Gachagua keeps quiet. Gachagua was in the US. He was able to realize that William Ruto is saying some things that are not right, could counter him from there. The fact remains that that is how William Ruto can be beaten, because he found himself not to be able to speak. William Ruto had to go silent at some point. So therefore, the best person to counter regarding William Ruto, it's Gachagua, and the best way is through reactions. He says this, you give him an answer. He says that, you critique it. That's the best way. It's a small thing, but that's how to make people think negative about William Ruto. Eventually, influence the decision at the ballot. Ladies and gentlemen, another thing that I have to say here, it is presenting a formidable team, or maybe a formidable candidate. If you bring somebody without track record, someone without proper principles of leadership, William Ruto might win, because he's going to do a lot that can be able to sway people to his side. He's going to show the stadiums he has made, the markets across the country, the roads being done in villages, and he's going to show so many other things that he's going to launch. And eventually, if people are not careful, he's going to influence more people in terms of track record. So if they're not going to bring somebody who can promise, who can be able to show that he can perform better than William Ruto, it's done. William Ruto will beat them very early in the morning and will be the president in 2027. Now, last but not least, I'm telling you one simple thing here. A well-organized campaign by the opposition. If they fumble, they don't have a youth machine, they don't have proper agents, they don't have actual agents being paid like Azimio did. They don't have various targets, they don't have a strong parties. They are not united in what they are saying. We are seeing things like the ones we saw in Malava, where Malala was openly attacking DAP party, instead of them sitting in a room and sharing. That is a straight way they are going to fail. So therefore, the opposition must prepare themselves well to deal with President William Ruto. If not, William Ruto is going to sweep them all the way from members of parliament, senators, governors, and even the presidency. I don't know what's your take, but in the comment section, you can share with me on what you think. See you next time for more videos. My name is Abel Mukwa.